I'm trying to make a depression here. That goes right into this part. Here you have the traps. Remember the clavicle shape and the traps will attach. If we divide the clavicle in three, the first third will be for the attach of sternocleidomastoid, and then the last one will be here for the traps. So this for the traps and this for the sternocleidomastoid. All right. Now I can smooth everything a little bit. And then let's work into that saggy muscle right here. With standard brush I can grab some form like that and then remove the inner part. Here in this this model we don't have this Platysma muscle very much pronounced, but here he has the head tilted, so I have too much of this volume here that I don't want it. But you can see some shapes. Let's add slow. I try to make depression here, maybe add some fatness to this part. And then work into this region for this saggy muscle. Still using my standard brush normally. Let's check other views. This should be not too much, symmetrical, so I try to make some way different. And here I'm kind of combining these two volumes for the Platysma, and when I say Platysma, I mean this volume that we are doing right now, okay? And let me check. Maybe it's not so pronounced. Let's have a look into our main reference. Very subtle attachment, maybe not so high, this neck. Yeah, I think it's getting better. Maybe it's too thin. Let's add a little bit more volume. You can see when I press up, like standard brush with the Alt key pressed, I'm removing the volume. And also note how I'm trying to create some randomness and not keeping too much symmetrical shape. And now let's have a look on the back. I think for the back we can try to copy this shape and these wrinkles that we have here. Note how we have this nice volume right in the middle. This is the portion that of traps, and this attaches on the back of head like this, and after we have the traps muscle making this shape, and right in the middle we have this diamond shape that it's not so visible, but it could be sometimes like this. Yeah, let's wait the save, and we nice. So I got some other reference too, so I can explain you and show you that this volume of Sagi Platysma, it can vary a lot depending on each person, but most of the time the formation are pretty much the same on the same direction, the same region, you can see, and this is combining with the sternocleidomastoid muscle most of the time. Here's more the sternocleidomastoid. Note how sometimes we don't even have that triangle shape separating the two parts. Sometimes we have, sometimes not. But you have to analyze on depending of the person you are trying to do, or even if you're creating your own character. But note how, like here, we have pretty much a combination of these two volumes, like the volume for the Platysma muscle. That should be like here. And in a combination with the sternocleidomastoid muscle, the external portion. So here is more the sternocleidomastoid, and here is the Platysma, saggy Platysma. Alright. And also notice this nice shape for the traps, this concave shape in between. Nice. And also note the shape for the clavicle. Note the distance between the clavicles. They are not so close. They are not attached like this. No. They have some nice distance between, because this it's the distance for the external, just like here. This is not so good, but we can see the Platysma muscle, very thin layer going on top of everything, and here the external bone right in the middle of the pecs, and the clavicles with a nice distance in between. Look. And also we can have this, oh yeah, here I'm saying the sagging Platysma muscle, but we also have some nice loose skin, like all of this are losing skin. And here are another anatomy for sculptors scheme that shows us the fat pads on the face. So this is also good for you to locate yourself on where you can apply some volumes concerning the fat skin. Like here, you can clearly see those losing skin, and also the fat regions. And also what we can see is some skin that making this nice folding. Yeah, so let's continue with the back region that we were saying. So I will try to make some wrinkles with them standard brush normally. Note the size that I'm using the them standard brush. And note how many strokes I use. I don't keep like just one time, and this will be too much uniform. So I do prefer to make some lot of times, a lot of strokes. This creates some nice variation on the skin. We can also use some standard brush to give more volume on the shapes. And after on secondary shapes, we're gonna do this very lot of wrinkles on these horizontal lines. But we can go back further on this. Yeah, it's getting nice. So let's continue on matching the face.